to Throwback Reviews, of course the segment on the Captain Bitey Show where instead of reviewing a modern day, in theaters now movie, we instead reach into the past and just grab something from there. And since it's December, I figured, you know what? Let's just do what we did with October, where we just reviewed Halloween movies all month. And in this month, we'll just review Christmas movies all month. We need to get into that spirit, and what better way than to watch some of those Christmas films you watched in your youth and just be like, the festivities, the spirit, it's here. But since it's the beginning of December, we need to get in that spirit. We need the ability to go, oh, phoo, here it is. So I figured, instead of just reviewing one Christmas movie, why don't I take a look back at 4 Christmas specials that you used to watch every year on the ABC Family, and let's see if they live up and are able to get us back in that Christmas spirit. And starting things off, I want to talk about one of my personal childhood favorites. Of course, I'm talking about How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Of course, the story of how the grumpy hermit Grinch stole Christmas from the Christmas-loving Who's of Whoville. And I gotta say, upon revisiting How the Grinch Stole Christmas, this really lived up to the childhood love I had for it. It managed to warm my heart, get me all happy again. I mean, this movie really has everything going for it. It's got that beautiful Dr. Seuss art style that just still looks so good to this day, along with that trademark Dr. Seuss language that, of course, is just able to charm the pants off me every time I hear it. And of course, by the end of it, it's coupled together with that beautiful Christmas message where it's like, hey, Christmas isn't about materialism, you can't steal it from us because Christmas is inside of our spirits. It's that kind of heartfelt Christmas message that not only is it able to make the Grinch's heart grow 3 sizes, but it's also able to do the same thing to my adult cynical heart. I mean, I'm one who relates with the Grinch a lot. Not because I hate people who like Christmas, but mainly because I hate people who are, happy. So when a movie like this comes along and shows, hey, sometimes us grumps can smile and be happy and be nice, it's very inspirational, it's very heartfelt. And then there's one of my favorite things about this movie, which is the song that plays throughout it. You know, the You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, which upon reflection, I've decided is really just the most savage, one-sided rap battle of all time. I mean, people wonder, why is the Grinch such a dick? Maybe he heard this song. I mean, someone wrote a song like that about me. I'd try to steal Christmas too. All in all, though, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a wonderful movie that was able to get me in that Christmas spirit, all Dr. Seuss style, and I had to give it a rating. I'd give it a solid A- out of 10. And up next, we're going to be talking about a more underrated Christmas special as far as I'm concerned, one that I don't really think gets the true love it deserves, and that one is, of course, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, or as I like to call it, X-Men Origins Santa, or Santa Origins, I don't know. It basically tells the origin story of Santa Claus back when he was Kris Kringle, how he became the legend he is today, and why Christmas things are Christmas things to begin with, and yeah. And upon revisiting this one, I actually gotta say, I had a lot of fun with Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I think this one is a very, very clever take on the Santa mythos. I mean, this is a damn good origin story. I mean, it's certainly better than the time they tried to do it with Wolverine. It's got that going for it. But I love how this movie just explains all these things Santa does. It's just like, oh, it was just coincidence. Now it's legend. It explains to the children watching, like, why he goes down chimneys, how he got his ho-ho-ho. It explains all of it in such clever ways that you just can't help but smile while you're watching it. I also really like the world building this movie had going for it. I mean, I love the world where it's just like, well, this takes place in a past where no toys are illegal, you can only do chores and do all this stuff. It made Santa into like this badass ninja outlaw where he had to like sneak into the town and dodge the cops. It made him cool. It was like surprisingly badass to me. Of course, all the while, like all these Christmas specials that had some great memorable music thrown in there as well, on top of some really good stop motion animation. I will say, of all the movies I'm talking about today, this is definitely the one that looks the most dated. I mean, at times the stop motion can be a bit jarring and you'll be like, oh, this is an old movie, but at the same time, it's not bad. It's still got its charm. It's still got its moments where you're like, that looks good. Overall, I had a really good time with Santa Origins. I think it is badass, and it deserves an A- out of 10. Now coming up next, we have an iconic Christmas special, one that we all know, we've all seen it. I've seen it at least a million times. I think that's a proper estimation. I am, of course, talking about Frosty the Snowman, the story of a snowman who they put a magician's hat on him. He came to life and he was like, oh man, this is awesome, but I'm gonna melt, so we need to go to the North Pole. So they do that all the while in pursuit by a really snively magician who he wants the hat back. And Frosty was always one of my childhood favorites, and upon revisiting it, I totally remember why. I mean, this movie has a lot going for it. Like, for one, it has some beautiful 2D animation that still looks good to this day. On top of the fact, I just love Frosty the Snowman as a character. To me, he feels like a very upbeat and positive Bill Murray, who just also happens to be a snowman who just walks around and he's cute and he's got a song that follows him everywhere he goes. I mean, the song they use in this movie, you all know it, it's the best song. 10 out of 10 song. I love this song. And on top of that, this is also a Christmas special that's got some conflict. It's got some tension in it. I'm talking like stuff that when I was a kid, I was like, oh geez, how are they going to get out of this debacle? To now that I'm an adult and, you know, I have a sound mind, I was still like, wow, geez, how are they going to get out of this debacle? I mean, it's a very well put together Christmas special that's able to put a smile on your face, a song in your heart. I will say, of all the ones I watched, it's probably my least favorite. Not because it's bad, but just because I think all the other ones are better. That's just really it. But they still all get the same score because I don't know how to be diverse. So yeah, Frosty gets an A- out of 10 too. And I have saved my favorite for last. This was always my favorite as a kid, and now going into adulthood, yeah, still the same deal. I am, of course, talking about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Of course, the story, the origin story, it's like Rudolph Origins of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa's main guy. He's the guy in the front with the gleaming nose. But when he was a kid, that wasn't a strength, it was a disability, and everyone made fun of him. He was a misfit, so he went out on an adventure, and then he came back and saved the day, and everyone was super stoked on him. And to me, personally, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is the movie that defined the Christmas special. I mean, when you say the term Christmas special, this is the first thing that pops into my head because it's got everything you could want in a Christmas special. Wonderful narration from that snowman guy, a wonderful story. I mean, the story here, it's a story about how one's perceived weakness can actually turn out to be a strength if you look at it in the correct light. It's a story of misfits that I love, because it takes them on this wonderful adventure that has emotion. It's got conflict like Frosty, but crazier conflict where sometimes you're like, oh, this is getting tense, and then sometimes you have nicer moments where you're like, oh my god, I want to cry, it's so sweet. Then you have scary moments where you're like, why is the Bumble still scary? And along with that, it of course has some fantastic and memorable characters, some incredible world building, along with the most memorable Christmas special music I've ever heard in my life. I mean, the music in this movie, it's just 10 out of 10 all around the board. I mean, after my rewatch, I can't tell you one day since that I haven't just once under my breath broke out into the "Why am I such a misfit" song just at least once or twice a day. It's that good. And then, of course, when you're talking about Rudolph, you can't not talk about the stop motion animation that I am telling you looks incredible to this day. I am still in love with the animation here. And I know what you're thinking. Ash, you just said Santa Claus is coming to town looked dated. Like, don't you think Rudolph looks dated? I think whereas Santa Claus is coming to town, it has those moments where it can be kind of jarring. Rudolph doesn't have those moments. Yeah, it doesn't exactly look like Kubo, but it leads to the movie's charm. It leads to why you love it. It's what makes it memorable and wonderful to look at. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer all around is just a wonderful Christmas special that inspires me. It gets me in the spirit. I think I'm in the spirit right now, and it's the only one that doesn't get the same score as the rest. It gets an easy A out of 10. And I think with all that there you have it. That ends my Christmas special Throwback Reviews episode that I put together very late at night last night. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to hear what you think. What are some of your favorite Christmas specials? What are some that maybe I didn't cover that you'd like me to cover in the future? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, be able to like, comment, and subscribe, share the video, follow me on all my social medias, join Enter the Cinephile, but most importantly, out of all these things, from all of us here at the Captain Vitus Show, you stay classy, YouTube. Ding!